Welcome to the Entrepreneur Show, where we talk to successful individuals to find out more about their journey, mindset, and strategy. I am your host Suraj Chilwal. In this episode, we are speaking with the professional photographer Hirak Bhattacharjee. Let's welcome him to the show. How's your daily life going on these days?
Yeah, so actually, this beginning of this 2024, I lost my mother. So it started in a very tragic way. And then, so I was in India for quite a few, almost 3 months I was there. So I had to stop my all working and all my projects in Australia.
Right.
So then I came back from India in the month of March. So then my work started again. It started to pick up.
Right.
So right now I'm doing wedding photography.
Right. Yeah.
So
I've seen
wedding
really
and event photography are my main bread and butter. Plus I do fashion portrait and family portrait. So I'm in last 1.5 years I have done more than 100 family family portraits.
Right. Yeah, it's not been that long you've been in photo.
No, it's just 2.5 years I'm now in part. So last 1.5 year my business photography business started to pick up.
Right.
Things are going well so far. Hopefully, finger crossed, in coming days it will be much better and bigger.
Right.
Let's
you can take more workload as well once you grow on your team and you have a studio and all of that.
So actually what happened last year, I do teach photography also. I hope you know that. So because now I almost teach more than 1 year, few of my students are ready to work.
Wow.
So basically this is the way I'm developing a team. I teach them from scratch, and now they are quite well trained and they are
professional.
We now almost 4 guys. We are having a team of 4 people.
Wow.
I was a mining engineer for 17 years.
Right. So that's what I was trying to ask you. How do you came to the photography?
So basically I am a student of I'm a doctorate in geology.
Wow. Right.
Then I work in the mining industry for some time, means 17 years. I started my career in India, in Mumbai. Then within 3 months, I got an offer from Dubai. So I went to Dubai.
Right. So how many works you been there?
For 5 years, I was in Dubai.
Right. Doing engineering, you said?
I was working there with a trading section team, and I was working for sourcing the minerals.
Right.
So I was sourcing mineral from Iran, from Vietnam, like many countries.
Okay.
So I used to keep traveling. I do drilling there. I used to develop some technical team in the local places, coordinate with the local mining team, and also by this way.
So when you were single or married at that time?
No, when I was in Dubai, I was single. So by end of 2009, I get married, and when I get married, I quit my job, overseas job. Then I went back to India.
Right.
Joined Tata Steel.
Oh, okay. Right.
So as once you start working overseas project and it's very dynamic, and plus salary structure is also very different from Indian salary structure. So I could not able to cope up. So in 1 year, 10 days, I again out of India. That time I went to Indonesia. So then so
again on the mining.
Yeah, in the mining industry again. And last 2 years, means until 2020 December, I was in Indonesia.
Right. So, I have seen few photographies and projects from there.
Right.
Then so it was the photography was your hobby or passions?
Yeah, I used to do photography with my phone. Then few of my friend and senior, they suggested, Hirak, your photography, you have some natural skill in photography. Why you don't try to buy some digital camera? So then in 2018, 1st of January, I remember, I buy my first Sony camera.
Oh, okay.
So that is Sony A7 Mark II. That was my first camera.
Right.
Then slowly my gear developed and my skill also developed. In 2020, I got a distinction from Federation of India
Right.
Photography of Federation of Indian
okay,
Photography.
you studied.
So
Right.
it is a Federation of Indian Photography. I got distinction from there in 2020. In 2021, I got distinction from Federation of International Art Photography.
Right.
So these two.
So that's a course you need to do, and you need to show
means you have to give some portfolio to them, and
Right.
they will
So
consider
your projects and
you
your
have to,
photography skills.
Right. You have to show showcase your work to them, and you have to. There are some competition happening, so you have
Right.
to participate in that. I started to believe in myself that
Right.
I have some skill, and why not try to explore
making
more.
this a
Yeah.
profession.
Now, still, I was not 100% convinced that I can make a profession out of it.
Right.
Because in India, people are not very much very much well aware of the how much money photographer can make. Took a course in photography, postgraduate diploma in professional photography.
Right.
And during
it's back in
it is
India
back in India
Right.
in Ooty. It is actually, if you Google and the first professional photography course in India,
Right.
number 1,
Right.
that is from there. So Light and Life
okay,
Academy.
Right. There is not much.
No,
for
it
the
is
photography.
really very extensive course. Means
Right.
it was 1-year course, and we every week you used to get more than 30 assignments. So imagine the
Wow.
pressure. So, but it really helps me a lot for developing my skill.
That's what coaching and the training should be.
It is a really rigorous course. And what happened means, before this course, all I do is landscape. So I was not into portrait photography or human people photography rather.
Right. So you are a bit shy at the time, or
I was a little bit shy, and means I don't know.
that's not your thing.
Means I am a very shy person in nature.
Yeah.
I'm introvert, not shy. I'm more of introvert.
So once you get connection and connected, and
it
then
is. So I used to love taking photograph of people, but I cannot communicate with the people earlier.
Oh, okay, right.
But this course, because in last 6 months, the whole course is actually means they develop your skill on light and doing people photography. During this course, because I have to I am forced to communicate with the people.
Right. Yeah.
So then slowly
because you are
this,
in the people business, and you need to make them happy and what they are looking for.
Yes. So slowly that skill developed, and during after means my life as a photographer before this course, I won some award, I won some distinction, I got published in magazines.
I have seen quite.
But those are for my landscape travel photography. But after doing this course, whatever award and whatever publication, whatever magazine has been publishing my work, they all related to my people photography.
Right. Yeah.
So means I am one of my highest point in my photographic skill is that after my Mongolia trip, my work been printed version of the this Guardian magazine.
Wow.
So it was been published in
that's
the
international arena.
International means it has been published in Guardian, the UK Telegraph, as well as I got exhibited in Royal Society London.
Wow.
So these are from my from Mongolia trip.
Wow.
Then
so that's people photography.
Yeah, all related to this. That's what I'm saying. As a photographer, before this course, whatever award and whatever distinction I get from my landscape photography.
Right. So you changed from landscape to the
now
portrait photography and people's photography.
Yeah. So means I remember in 2023. In 1 month, exactly which month I cannot recall. I think it is July.
Right.
So I was in a landscape photography magazine from USA.
Right.
So my work exhibited, published there in printed version.
Wow.
And parallelly, it has been published in one of the fashion magazine in Paris.
Wow.
So in same month, my landscape work got published in USA. And one in France.
That landscape was your work from the previous year, or
I think that was from one work from Pinnacle Desert.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
from
just
Australia.
in,
So because
right.
I was already in Australia.
Right. Yeah.
So I done some
it's
night.
really nice,
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
over
it's
there.
beautiful.
Yeah, you have been
And I
couple of
have done
times.
some nightscape photography from Pinnacles, and which is
okay.
which are
right.
really good images. So I think one of my image from Pinnacle and one of my image from the South Albany
Right.
side. So these two work get published there.
Yeah, I think in north side the sky is really clear.
Yeah,
it's really
very
good for
very
night
beautiful.
photography, and even if you want to see the
Yeah,
stars
actually,
at night.
you can see naked eye. You can see Milky Way. So it's so bright, so
amazing. Right.
Even yesterday I was in this photographic expo.
Right.
In Part CBD. I was there, and some of the photographers they come and say hello to me because they recognize me. Even though I was not.
Because people recognize your
started
work
and
yourself,
started to recognize my work. That is one of the best part, and so far so good. Let's see how it goes.
Your work speaks louder than yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you take your journey, as we just discussed, like from the childhood you've been like a mining engineers, and then now you're doing photography, so you enjoy like being on a paycheck, like the engineering stuff, because you are earning decent money, I think, and then you're doing on your own, like own business, and you're training people, you have a team around you, so which you enjoy and how it starts.
See, actually, to be very honest, let me tell you from very beginning of my life, means from the early days. I born and brought up from a very middle scale for a family.
Right.
So we are not in a upscale society. We are from my father was just government service person.
Right.
So you can understand that how much money they make and how much social standard we have. So yeah, definitely my father was respected, but there is not much money to be have a like a lifestyle. So
yeah, I think it's same thing. Like for all of us, money wasn't the topic of discussion. So actually, but one thing which I inherited from my father as well as from my mom, that I never quit on anything. Means if I start doing something, I want to see the end of this. So I never quit on anything. Means you can go and ask my childhood friend also. They will say that one thing Hirak has the quality that he never quit. Right.
And if I decide that I'll do something, I make sure I'll do it.
Right.
So it takes 1 year, it takes 10 years. I don't care, but I have to finish
Hill
it.
on his Think and Grow Rich said, winner never quits, quitter never wins.
Never wins. Never 100%. Because means what happened? Because of my background, unfortunately, whatever you say, I used to have big dreams. Even now, I have big dreams in my life. So from this humble beginning, if you want to achieve all those big dreams, all you have it is your hard work.
Right.
So I never failed to put my commitment on something, and I for that if I could do means 20 hours a day of working, I don't mind to do it. Means I am okay with it as long as I get the what I am dreaming of.
Right.
I was very good in cricket and football both during my childhood.
In sports.
In sports. Okay.
Right, that's interesting.
And many people don't believe that I even play with Saurabh Ganguly in club level.
Wow.
So
I'm just hearing this for the
because
first time.
I don't speak all these things in too many people.
Right.
I am introvert, so I don't speak too much with the people.
Right. Okay, that's
so
nice.
I play for Sports Authority of India football.
Wow.
So I play for
even football as well.
even for football I play for Sports Authority of India for 3 years.
Right.
And I play for my district level many years. I think more than 6-7 years.
So you didn't think of like going further and making
that's what I'm saying. But unfortunately, during that time, during my childhood, there is no IPL. So there is not much exposure for domestic cricketer.
Right.
Yeah. So even though we have talent, if you do not have the backing, you do not have some godfather.
Right.
It was very difficult to make it through in cricket during that time.
Yeah.
So. And because of my middle class family background, at some point of time I have to earn money.
Right.
So I cannot put my whole life risk for cricket. So I had to leave that, and fortunately, unfortunately, I was good in my education also.
Right.
Even though I'm good in my sports, I spent a lot of time in my sports. I was good in education also. So throughout I got my graduation first class, master's degree first class.
Wow.
So eventually after I appear for this UGC NET exam, which you get fellowship from the government of India.
Yeah, right.
So I appear first time, I got it.
Oh,
Just one time I cracked it. So I was luckily, or I don't know, fortunate, unfortunate, I don't know.
Right.
I am good in my education also. So I like that.
So you have that kind of, studying or working hard and to the points.
Yeah.
So that's really help onto the sports as well, onto your getting that
and
scholarship.
Because I think because of my sports background, one thing I learned that you should not quit at midway. Play the whole 90 minutes of football game.
Right.
It can happen even at the 90th minute. Things can change.
Right.
Things can change. So you have to play for the whole 90 minutes.
Right.
So that is my whole life goal. That you have to play for whole of even at the last moment things change radically. And so far means whatever I touched, I am able to crack it. For I just discussed about my sports. I discussed about my education.
Right.
I discussed about my photography. Plus, I'm a diploma in fine arts.
Right.
Painting.
Wow. So you do paintings as well.
I'm diploma in tabla, classical Indian classical tabla.
Oh,
so all these things happen during my childhood, and I think those.
So you got exposed to those environment.
Because we are Bengali, we used to have, even in our culture, even from childhood, people get trained in these things. So it is normal in our Bengali culture. So
So it was part of festival season or daily.
Every weekly I used to go for my painting training. Every weekly I used to have tabla training this during my PhD. When I was doing from junior research fellowship, then after 2 years I applied for senior research fellowship. So what happened? Your fellowship increases, but it was a part of UGC. They take so long time to just approve this fellowship.
Right.
So, and unfortunately for my part, what happened when I apply for from senior research fellowship, they stopped my fellowship for JRF. So junior research fellowship, whatever fellowship I was getting, they stopped it.
Right.
Even though they not released the senior research fellowship. So I think for 11 months, I was living in Allahabad during that time. I was not having any money with me.
Wow.
So, and my father also retired during that time, and he was not getting pension.
Right.
So during that time, it was really financially, it was a tough time.
So that's been your turning point.
Yeah. So and I survived. I sold out my bicycle. I sold out my watch. This I survived.
Right.
But I still asked money from my parents.
Yeah, far away from.
Because I was I was living almost 800 kilometers from my hometown.
Right.
And it was during that time, it was not like that you just make a phone call and get money from your parents.
Right. So what's your age at that time?
I was around 22, 23, like that.
Right. Pretty young.
Yeah, pretty young that time. So like this I survived.
Right.
But those hardships make me understand that means first thing you have to respect money, and second thing that you have to respect all your hard work. There is no replacement for hard work.
Right.
I strongly believe if you have bad time, means good days are coming.
Right.
And similarly, if you are enjoying too much in your good days, you are bound to fail it, and you are bound to fall.
So
at
once
some
you are
point of time.
comfortable, you won't grow.
Yeah. So never saturated yourself with your happiness.
Right.
Always keep a part where you have a you want to grow further. You want to grow further. Always put some challenge in front of you.
We have heard in some research says many business fail within 5 years because they do all the hard work when they start, but at some point they got certain customer base and the business will run. They think, we are doing great, and they won't change. They won't learn and they won't adopt new technology and so on, and that's why they fail.
So like this is exactly what I'm telling. Means the moment I feel my life is going smooth, and trust me, it happens again and again.
Right.
That particular moment I had a bad feeling that no, things are not going to
going well. Right.
I have to change. So I change immediately. Like when I quit my job at 2020 December,
Right.
I was heading a project of 3,000 employee,
Right.
20 manager working under me,
Right.
and my monthly production it was a coal mines. My monthly production of more than 1 million ton per month I was
Wow.
producing.
Right.
I am not getting more motivation from my work. So this feeling started to grow by
Right.
2019. So
Right.
since 2019 I started to tell my boss
Right.
that
You are not satisfied. Or
Now,
you want to
I started to tell my boss that I need more challenges. When I joined this project,
Right.
the monthly production of that project was 60,000. So imagine within
Wow.
5 years, from 60,000 per month, I make it 1 million ton.
Right.
So 2019, when everything
That's
is
a massive growth.
so massive growth, right? So but since 2019 I had this feeling that I am not happy with this anymore. So
Right.
that project was not my day-to-day job. I'm making money, I'm
Right.
having
You are comfortable in the sense.
I'm comfortable with the system.
Yeah.
The moment I become comfortable, I feel there is
Right. So I'm
something
not
is
going further, not growing at all.
my growth is reduced. My
Right.
growth rate has reduced.
Right.
So I tell my boss quite a few times that give me some more challenge.
Right.
Give me some more challenge. But I don't know. I not able to communicate
Expand
him
his
properly,
business
or he not understand my problem. So eventually 2020 December I quit. I said
Right.
that I don't want to renew my visa, and I don't want to go for any job.
Right.
So during that time, by that time I got this distinction from Federation of Indian Photography. So that click like means no, I have some talent, let's
Right.
try and
make
change
the profession.
so let's change the whole
Right.
profession. So
Right.
imagine means making 6K figure US dollar salary. From there I quit a
Now you
job and I started a new career.
Right. And from there, like,
from zero.
yeah,
So I started from
wow.
zero again.
Wow.
So photography was not my regular part of
Yeah.
my life
Right.
job.
So you haven't done anything
Before that. So I
Right.
take a whole challenge and develop from there. So I started from zero. I get myself trained, then I come to Australia.
Right.
So new profession, new location.
Right.
So imagine the
Wow.
challenge.
Right.
But thankfully, I'm extremely thankful to my wife, and that time my parents,
Right.
my mother was also there. So they all supported my
Yeah, family.
because
Yeah.
they understand that means I speak very less in my even in my home also I speak
Right.
very less, but I speak to the point. So people when listen
like,
that
have you discussed like you are quitting or changing job with your
of course,
family and partners?
of course.
So what did they say initially?
Yeah, initially my parents was like, why are you like this crazy?
Right. Yeah.
But my wife able to understand my problem because it is unsettling from me
So she have seen you.
so
Right.
she started to see that there is an anxiety happening between me within me, which is lucky enough for me, and plus because she got this job by end of 2020 and early 2021 she got this job in Australia. So that was the end of my means then I make a I freeze myself that no more working, no more slavery.
Right.
Let's do something for myself.
Right.
So that then only I take this photography course.
Right.
To be very honest, it sound ridiculous to some people. When I was doing my last project,
Right.
my signing authority, my whole signing authority every month was $20 million.
Wow.
But how much money I make out of those $20 million? I am making money for my boss.
Yeah, you're making money for
So actually, I'm earning for my boss, not for me.
Right.
I'm getting only peanuts of whatever I am making money
So
for my
you
boss.
start to
So
understand
this
those things as well.
means even though I'm working so hard, I'm not discouraging to go for job.
Yeah. Right.
But at some point of time, I personally realized that it's not
Yeah, yeah.
it's not
Right.
worthy my time or
Right.
my effort anymore.
Because you are doing hard work
Yeah.
and you are doing your best, but you are not getting
yeah.
all that benefits.
Yeah, means I'm
Right.
getting maybe if you compare with some other employee who are
Right.
working in that company or some other company, maybe
You're getting more
I'm
than
quite
that.
successful
Right.
on that. But I started to realize that if I put this much effort for my
Only
own
one.
self,
Right.
I might make it much bigger.
More. Right. Yeah.
So I give myself a scope
Right.
to make it count.
So then, the photography clicked in.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And after you will not believe again. There is as I told you, means my life is always like sine curve.
Right.
There is a growth, there is fall. There is growth, there is fall.
Right.
Once I quit this job, I had a major heart attack.
Really?
Yeah, in 2021,
Oh.
I first half of 2021, I had COVID. Then after COVID, I had a major
Right.
massive heart
Oh.
failure.
Right. So you were in India.
Yeah, I was in India. Massive heart failure, and
Right.
I was in ventilation for 7 days, and total 18 days in hospital.
Wow.
I remember I was admitted in general bed in one hospital in Calcutta.
So you wake up
Then-
on another bed.
Yeah, I wake up in ICU in another hospital.
Right.
So my wife transported me from this hospital to another hospital. Then I was in ventilation.
Right.
This whole I have no memory. If my wife not told me, I don't know that I was
Transfer
like
from
this.
one hospital to another.
So I have no memory of those.
Right.
So I was totally unconscious for 7 days, and
Wow.
my heart pumping capacity was below 35%. So
Right.
doctor told my wife there is a 1% chance of survival.
Right.
It's all here now. So
Right.
So-
So so when we're dealing with all those things, it's comes into your mindset as well.
yeah,
So let's say you had a heart attack, could be your physical strength or some other things and mental stress. But if you had a mindset like you are not enough, you want to do something in life, then you will wake up. Like we see so many people in the hospital, and there's been so many research have been done. The doctor were shocked. There is no chance. But if the patient, they have that mental power,
Strength,
and willpower and mindset, they will wake up. So what was your mindset before the heart attack, and when you wake up onto another bed, and how was your mindset, and how do you?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Means when I got sick before that, I has a photographic trip to Himalaya. Okay, so I was in very high altitude. And I got COVID there only. Means during that time. So I was in Himalayas. It is in Himachal Pradesh in Spiti area. So it was more than 4,000 meter altitude. I was there. So because I was doing this photographic trip, I was already in high.
Right.
I was very much happy with my own self.
Right.
Then all on a sudden I got this sickness and all thing happened. Then the first thing when I come back from hospital, you will not means it is such a phase that it's I tell one thing to my wife.
Right.
God send me back. That means I have something to give further.
Right.
If I have already completed my job, I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Because I have not completed.
Right.
Which I sent with the purpose, with a project. I have not done everything. I have not completed. So there is some due.
Right.
And let's focus on it. So that was my motivation, further motivation for my doing photography. Because after working for 17 years, one thing, I mean, it's a sad reality. It's a harsh truth of life.
Right.
If you are working in corporate sector and if you die, your colleague will die on that day.
Right, just that.
But the next day they will replace you with another person.
You are just a number.
You are just a number, and you are just you are replaceable.
Right. Yes.
On the next day, on the very next day, no people will remember you further.
Right.
Okay. But as an artist, there is a chance that people will remember you for
forever.
Longer duration. So that is another motivation which helped me to come into this. After having this incident in my life, this is the motivation. I even still now I have this motivation that if I want to keep a legacy, corporate work is not the life. I can keep a legacy with my art, with my photography, where people will remember me for some time. At least next 50 years, people will talk about me. Like if you as we are Bengali, you talk about Rabindranath Tagore, Satyajit Roy. Who are they? They are artists, right? Even means so many generations by generation, we still recall them, we still remember them because of their art. But during that time, so many people, so many Indian work for British, right? We don't remember them. Simple. So we don't know their name.
That thing just clicked in after that incident.
Exactly. That is one of my biggest motivation being an artist. That as a artist, see, no matter what you do, you have to leave this planet. You have to leave this art. But what you can do, you can keep a legacy by your work.
People will remember for your work.
And how people will remember? By your art. Do something will people recall, and people always refer, this is the work from Hirak. So this is my work.
I think even this, as you have that natural capacity and like good knowledge for photography and your skills by birth as well, and you are doing really great. You've been nominated for so many awards we have seen onto the social media and all.
And to be very honest, I never count my money, how much money I have in my bank account. I never count. I know I have sufficient for my life. If I live until 80, I have sufficient for that. That's it. For me, that's it. Similarly, I think if I'm started counting, it will be more than 100 awards I have owned.
Wow. But so it's just in 2-3 years of time.
Within last 4-5 years. Okay. But again, I never count it. It's part of my life.
But
it's okay.
You are doing your best, and let success follow you.
Yeah, of course. And I want to end myself as a photographer. I want to see myself to be as a magnum photo artist. What is magnum photo artist? It is like for Nobel laureate in literature or in science. Nobel laureate. Art, in photography there is a magnum photo artist. Like you are in that elite class. So I want to
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Not many people know about this. So I want to end my career in a photography to be a magnum artist. So if I reach to that level, I'll feel that I have done something good for myself. So that is my my next target in my life. If it take 10 years, 20 years, it does not mind.
So I don't mind. Part of our show, we ask people like, what's your goal for next 5 to 10 years? So that's goal.
My goal is to be at magnum photo artist in their website, like Raghurai from India. You know Raghurai. So he's magnum photo artist. So I want to be like him.
So from all this journey, now you like changing onto the photography, and you're doing really great. And certain in life and somewhere you either get influenced with like really good books, or you get influenced with your family or with some idol or some people. So what's your main motivations?
So from my childhood, I'm a voracious reader. I read anything and everything. And work of Rabindranath Tagore, Sharat Chandra Chattopadhyay are my childhood memories and childhood motivations. And means if I summary my whole life till date, the biggest motivation I get from Sharat Chandra Chattopadhyay, Srikant. Srikant, there is a one main it is part of his autobiography. There is a character named Srikant. So if I want to figure myself, if I want to grow, I see myself like him. Like I'm a vagabond with a no connection, no attachment, but I'm everywhere. So you idealize. I idealize. I feel since my childhood I idealize this character. his morality, his integrity.
Right.
All I really.
I think that's quite related with your nature and how you are.
Yeah, and I myself, if I want to give one example of my character, my life, I might say Srikant.
Right.
Kind of like that.
He don't have much connection and
that means he has lot of good connections.
Works,
lot of connections,
and they know by their works. Rather than like speaking and being louder.
So I'm more silent, and I prefer to my work speak for myself.
Right,
that's it.
Right. Yeah.
So and there is another then I once I started to start English literature.
Right.
I really fond of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Paulo Coelho is very inspirational.
Right. So you still continue studying
Amitabh Ghosh. He's my one of the most favorite author, Amitabh Ghosh.
Right.
Like this means, but since I started doing my photography, I do not have much time for reading all this.
Right. So from the humble beginning, so you've been to like 17 years, you work for someone.
Yeah.
Now you are on your own entrepreneurship. And so what you enjoy the most and what are the challenges you think, starting your own business, or what that willpower you need to start on your own?
Yeah, for like one thing which I think I set an example for others, like if someone really want to take my suggestion to grow as an entrepreneur or to develop himself, never one and only thing I said that never ever fail or make means learn from your mistakes. So if you make mistake, don't worry, don't feel bad, learn from it, then grow.
Right.
Because your mistakes will give you stepping stone for growth.
Right.
Your success never give you stepping stone for your further growth.
Right. Yeah, so, some people think like failure is like a defeat, but failure is just a practice shot.
Failure is actually stepping stone to further, going to further level, next level.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's like for example, when you are studying class 1,
right,
for going to class 2, you have to pass an example. So that is your failure.
Right.
That is your challenge. So you pass that challenge, you go to the next level.
Right. Grade 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Grade 2. Right. So in life also similar.
Right.
Just you don't think this is like you fail in one challenge does not mean that you are failing in your whole life.
Right.
Never. Oh, okay. Just I forget to tell you. I am a 2 times suicide survivor.
So what actually is that?
So because you now because you are discussing all this failure and learning from mistakes. So I had my initial relationship during my college school days. I started to have a relation, and it was for 9 years. So it break in one day. It was an unfortunate breakup.
Okay, right.
So because I was very immature, so I tried to make some nuisance, try to commit suicide, but survived. Then
you said 2 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then next time, during my graduation, it was second year exam. I failed. I failed in mathematics. Like what happened? We are 25 students in our batch in our class. So we are doing graduation in geology. Okay.
Right.
So what happened? I'm not sure. I think our paper lost. During those times in Calcutta University, it used to happen like this. All the paper lost.
Oh, okay.
So our paper lost, and out of 25 people, 23 people failed in mathematics. So I was one of them.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
So total out of 300, I got 007. I still remember those numbers.
Right.
And
so you didn't attend at all, or you were there? You couldn't write.
We submitted. Our paper lost.
So
while they are transferring this paper, it is lost in the process. So they just give random marks to the people.
You did your best, and you were not expecting this because the paper is lost. That's why you had failed.
And not only me, whole 23 students out of 25 failed.
Right.
Because of this. And the 2% passed. They are not having mathematics in their graduation.
Right.
So these two people passed. So
Right.
all the 23 people having mathematics during their entire time all failed.
Right.
And out of these 3 students, I only reappear on the next year. So what happened? All the students, 23 students, they only appear for the mathematics.
Right.
I am the only one who appear for the mathematics, chemistry, as well as my graduation subject, geology. So I reappear whole exam
Right.
for the next year. And I become first class second.
Right. On second
On the
attempt.
second attempt.
Right.
So again,
Wow.
I was telling you, my life is always like sine
Right.
curve. So this was, I scored 99 in mathematics in my 12th standard.
Wow.
And
Right.
I got 007 in my first attempt in graduation.
Right.
Next time I become first class second.
Wow.
So it was like this. So since
Right.
my childhood,
It's
my
like a
life
journey
is
and ups
of
and downs,
course,
right.
and that is the reason I tell everyone who get inspiration from me
Right.
and who intend to get some inspiration from real life people. I always tell them never feel bad that you fail.
Right.
Take your failure and grow from there. This is exactly what I always do in my life.
Right. So yeah, so you are doing really good at the photography, and you have lots of awards as well. You are achieving really good milestone within the short period of time. It must be on your perseverance and hard work and dedication towards the work. And so what is quite important to be successful and stay onto your path, and what you enjoy the most on your entrepreneurship?
Yes, and this is one very good question. I think it will help many people who are listening to this. So what happened means, if you want to become successful, don't go with the mass people. Like
Right.
everyday job, everyone is doing everyday job. So everyday job will never make you something very successful.
Right.
Okay, so if you want to lead a standard life, job is perfect.
Right.
That is okay. But if you want to be a successful one, you have to take challenge. This is the one part.
Right.
Second is that if you then how you become successful out of 100, like
Right.
out of 1,000.
Right. Yeah.
Because the moment you are thinking that I have to need to do something special, something different, like you, there is more another 100 people.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So if you consider 1,000 a sample, out of
Right.
1,000, there will be 100 who are thinking differently.
Right.
But not
Success.
not 101 are successful.
Right.
Now, for being successful out of these 100, now you have to understand your niche.
Right.
Now you have to understand what is your strength, what is your weakness.
Right.
Like I quit my job, so I understand that if I want to
Be a
be a person who can be remembered
leave
for
the
some
legacy.
time, legacy, I have to go in art.
Right.
Okay, so I changed there.
Right.
Now when I come to photography, you remember I told you I started my career in photography. I started as a landscape photographer. Then when I come to the landscape photography, means I come into the field of photography.
Right.
I see there are a lot of landscape photographers. There is a lot of people photographer
Right.
who are doing people photography. Now I told you I have a dream to go to Magnum photo artist.
Right.
I go there, I search, I research on Magnum photo artist. If you go and research in Magnum photo artist,
Right.
out of 10 photographers who are Magnum photo artists, 9 are doing people photography.
Right.
So you have to give the best chance
Of
to
your right.
to reach your dream.
Right.
So I shifted from landscape to a people photography.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
now I am in a track. Now if you remember, I told you there is 100.
Right.
So from there 100, I now become 50.
Right.
Now still there is a 50.
Right.
Now people photography has wedding
Right.
photography,
Right.
event photography, for fashion photography, normal portrait photography, family portrait photography,
Right.
documentary
Wow.
people photography.
Right.
Now there is a 10 different type of people photography, but not all are Magnum photo artists.
Right.
Again, I go back and do research.
Right.
So what if I want to reach?
They do differently.
Yeah. So if you want to reach Magnum
Right.
photo artist, what you have to do? You have to do photojournalism,
Right.
photo documentary photographer,
Right.
so that people will get more impact.
Right.
So then I shifted my photographic skill from a landscaper. Now I am a tribal life photographer.
Right.
My work, my most successful photographic project, which is from Mongolia. I lived with Mongolian nomad people in minus 50 degree temperature.
Minus 50?
Yes. I traveled with them for every day. I walk with them more than 40 kilometers.
Wow.
And I done their winter migration with them.
Wow.
And during the daytime, we faced no blizzard also for consecutive days.
Right.
Okay, so I live with them, I stay with them, I travel with them, I photograph them.
Right.
So this is kind of documentary photography which give me exposure to Royal Society London.
Right.
Which is the photographic skill, give me exposure to Tokyo Photo Award, HIPA, which is from Dubai Best Award.
Right.
So these are the work, so like this.
Right.
So from landscape photographer, I become people photographer.
Right. And
from there, I become documentary photographer.
Right.
From there, I reach this success.
Right.
So it is not happen in a one day.
Over time.
It over time, and there is some purposeful choices.
Right.
Do research, then make your understand which is your strength.
Right.
My strength, I can survive extreme condition.
Right.
Since my childhood, I do travel. I'm a sports person since my childhood. I'm physically strong. That is my strength.
Right.
So I can go for documentary photography. I can survive. Like after this Mongolia work, I go to Papua. I live with their tribal life.
Right.
And that work bring me Australian Photographer of the Year.
Wow, I'm hearing first time. Well, congratulations.
Okay, so
right. Wow.
So like
in entire Australia.
Yeah.
Right.
In entire Australia.
Wow. Right.
So like if you want to become a successful, you have to make some decisions. Right choices, right time, and once you take a decision, never quit on it.
Right.
Give your wholehearted effort on it.
And research is also quite important. Right.
Of course. Do proper research. Always look for good photograph to become a good photographer.
Right. So, there is a saying, there is no shortage of high ambitions.
Yes,
everyone have a high ambition. But dedication and research
commitment.
and focusing.
Yes, focusing.
Yeah, it's quite
commitment.
important.
Of course,
right.
commitment.
So that's a piece of advice.
Yes.
So you want to
I
give
want to give
someone.
to everyone,
Right.
and I deliberately break it in steps so that people will understand all these things.
So relate to your study.
Yes.
Right. So you have achieved great success in your later life on your photography journey as well. You are onto that path. And is there any certain time or certain point or certain thing you regret about your life?
Never. I never, because you see, since my childhood, I take some decisions which are not normal people do. Like after my 12th standard, I get opportunity to study physics.
Right.
I choose for geology. First diversion I make.
Right.
Okay. Then during the geology study, I fail in one standard.
Right.
Every person go for only mathematics. I choose for a whole subject.
Right.
I become first class second. Another different choices. Then during the master's time, everyone go for GATE and go to USA for PhD. I go for this UGC net. I clicked it. I started doing research.
So you have always taken challenges.
I always go in a different way. But before taking this, I make a certain research. I do research before I take the decision. But after I take a decision, I never doubt on it.
Right.
I just follow this track. That's it. I never deviate from it.
Right. So you don't have any regrets.
Yes.
So
like again during the job. Let me. Sorry to stop you. Again during after I get married, I came back to India, joined Tata Steel. In India, getting a Tata Steel job itself a challenge.
Right.
So I cracked it in one time.
Right.
But I quit it 1 year 10 days.
Right.
Again, I go for another country where I never worked before.
Right.
Going to Indonesia. So all my Tata Steel colleagues get surprised because Tata Steel is like a government job, very secure job, very secure job.
Yeah. No doubt onto that.
So people, when they say that in 1 year this guy is living and going to some country
Just
where he
after a
never
year.
been,
Right.
they have become, are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That is, but
Right.
I know I'm a crazy, but that is a certain decision I make
Right.
because I know I have to reach to certain level. At the age of 39, I become head of project of 3,000 employee.
Right. Yeah.
If I not quit Tata Steel,
Right.
I never been able to reach this.
Right.
Because I reached at the age of 39, I reached this level. I able to quit my work at the age of 45.
Right.
Because I have certain amount of saving at the age of 45 to look for next challenge.
Right.
So all these challenges, all these decision help me to come what I am today. So I never regret on any my decision, any of my decision. Rather, I feel proud of it.
Right. So, like, if you had a chance to go back on your younger age, like let's say 15, 20, so is there anything you will do differently?
I love
or
to
any
meet
advice?
only thing I tell you here, I told you, right? I had a one breakup in my first relation.
Right. Being busy on your work, and you have a partner and a family as well, and it's quite important to manage your family and your work balance as well. And sometimes, we feel burnout and we feel like, why I'm doing all this. So how do you stay motivated into these kind of scenarios?
Yeah, for me, because I'm a photographer, and before I was a photographer, I was a traveler. So traveling always makes me relaxed. So, like for example, I'm telling last May, June, I was extremely busy with my client work.
Right.
So then what happened? I at some point I feel like it's too much for me. I don't want to take my camera again.
Yeah.
Like this. So then me and my wife went to Bali for almost 5 days holiday.
Right.
And I just carry one small camera, travel camera,
So
and
that
no
you can
professional
focus on holidays.
and just focus on my holiday. So it was like we had some good time. Then we went from Bali. We went to India.
Right.
Then come back on the way. Returning to Perth. We again spent some quality time in Kuala Lumpur. So
Right. So that was
now
on
I'm
transit.
again
Right.
I'm totally now again relaxed. Now again there is a hunger for doing some better photography. Now again real studies like this. I always, whenever I feel burnout, I go for a trip.
Right.
Go
So
for a
you-
trip for my soul.
So you think like, staying motivated and having this kind of break from your work is quite important to go you further and do more work? Or?
Yeah, of course. Like if you are not feeling motivated, that is the reason why I quit my job. Right. So my day-to-day 9 to 5 job, I quit because I was not getting motivation.
Right.
So again, if I do the same thing in my photography, what is the point?
Right.
So I personally always try consciously try to give myself a break, and whenever I go for a break, I go for my own photo trip, like going to Mongolia, going to Papua New Guinea, going to some part of tribal life in Indonesia. So the moment I go and stay where there is no internet, no network, nothing, all you can do is focus on the moment.
Right.
So that helps me a lot to relax.
Right.
And that time, whatever work I done for my soul, always become my best work.
Right. Because you are enjoying this.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. The work from those works actually become my most successful.
Right. If you are enjoying what you are doing, then you will
it will
definitely
always
be
give you
successful,
success.
and you can give your best as well.
Of course, always.
Right. So you have been all this journey, and your life been really interesting. And do you have any piece of advice for our audience who is just want to start and get motivated to start and kick into their journey?
Yeah, first of all, never feel bad about failure, because if you try 100 things, then only you will able to complete 10 times, 10 things. So you have to always look for new opportunities and try new things.
Right.
If you want to be doing something for your own self, like doing entrepreneur, first is your self motivation is extremely important. You never feel the moment you feel down, take a break,
Right.
pause yourself, think about it, then again make a plan, go for it.
Right.
But don't quit those things. If you are not able to achieve something by doing particular work, don't do that particular work for the same result and expect that same way.
Right.
So then you have to that is the reason why I said take a pause. Take a pause, realize where you are making mistake.
Right.
What small thing you have to change it.
Right.
Fine tune it, then go for it.
Right.
Again you fail. Again now you have two experiences. Your failure is actually your experience.
Right. Yeah.
Then you have you'll really understand what are the basic mistakes you are making. Then go for the third item.
Right.
But never quit.
Right.
And and this is means my whole life is like this. And you should not feel bad your failure and learn from it and never quit. These are the three things most important to become a successful entrepreneur.
Right. Yes.
And always look for new avenue. It is also very important because
so when you change,
if you think that you want to do certain business and go and research it, you will find there are at least 10 people doing the same thing.
Right.
So what is your
take?
What your take and your niche on it? Because you'll only be able to hit people, you get attention from the people if you have certain thing different from others to deliver. If you are delivering same thing, why people will listen to you?
Right. So you need to be outstanding
always,
and do things differently.
Yes.
Right.
Look for that particular
point.
Wow factor.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's quite important as well. Like, if we're doing the same thing, like you will be the same kind of product, like from a factory or from the machine.
Your machine.
Yeah, so it's just the same product.
Thing. Yeah, people. There is no.
Why then people choose you?
Out of 10 boxes, you will just take one box.
Right.
It may not be you. He randomly taking 1 box out of 10. But if you have different color on your box, if you have different smell on your box, maybe then he will take a conscious effort to choose you.
Right. Earlier on our conversation, you mentioned you have few students on photography and so on.
Yes.
So where is the best place to find you, to get connected, to get your service and so on?
So I live near to Fremantle area. So if someone want to learn photography from me, I take rigorous classes. So because I learned from a rigorous courses, I prefer to go one-to-one classes. And you have to come and stay with me for every week at least 2 hours. In the weekend, I don't mind. But you give me 2 hours and trust me, in 6 months time, you will be better photographer. You come because all my team member right now, they are my ex-students. So they learn from me. Now they are working with me.
Right.
So if you come, it will happen same with you.
So you will train them as well, and they can
practically they will start working with me.
Right.
Now eventually you develop your own business setup.
Right. So you have your own studio and own website to get.
Yes. I'll share you my website, my Instagram and Facebook also. If someone want to connect, happy to help them. Definitely.
Sure. Yeah. So
not only for that, not only just for teaching photography or learning photography. If someone just want a photographer,
if they want to cover their wedding and best moment of their life.
So if they want to make a family portrait of their some memorable day, anniversary day, some birthday, I split my photography in 2 parts.
Right.
One I am doing for my client, one I am doing for myself.
Right.
So, and I am committing to both.
Right.
So parallelly.
We'll put all your description and website and social links on our description on the show notes. And thank you for being here. Thank you for giving your valuable time to be on our show.
Thank you for inviting me also.
Thank you so much. It was nice hearing your stories.